Todorovska, the author of the Provence Food and Wine book. And here we are in Lourmarin, in the middle of the Luberon, as part of the Modern Troubadours tour for people who want to experience this region, the food, wine, and culture. It's a wonderful region, and today we're doing a demo of one of its main dishes, and that's aioli. Very famous Provençal dish. The first thing I must say about aioli is if you want to stay in Provence or come back or be invited back, it is important that you make the aioli without any egg. I know that there is a concept out there that aioli is made with egg, but traditionally in Provence there was no egg in aioli. It was lots of garlic, as you can see here, salt, extra virgin olive oil, and boiled potato to give it texture and that yellow color. So the yellow color shouldn't come from the egg. The most important thing about aioli is that it requires a lot of arm work. So the first thing you do is you peel a lot of garlic, and I usually chop the garlic into 2 or 3 pieces. Then you add some salt to make the garlic not jump in your face, and then you start crushing it. And it's best if you invite a lot of people over and you have friends sitting around drinking wine, keeping you company, because this takes a long time. And while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a little bit of the story of aioli. Traditionally, it was a dish that people in Provence ate on Fridays, because for church, for religious reasons, they didn't eat meat on Fridays. And so every family would make a big batch of garlic aioli for lunch, and then they would eat it with vegetables. And it was boiled haricots verts, raw vegetables. Sometimes there would be boiled salted cod, hard-boiled eggs, things like that. But it was mostly a vegetarian dish for Fridays. The most important thing is that when you eat aioli, you share it with friends, because unless you do, only some people will smell like garlic, and that's no fun for everyone else. So we keep adding a little bit of salt to add some grit to the garlic. And the coarser the salt is, the better. But one thing aioli is really good for is providing a lot of exercise for your arms. And I always joke that this is part of the Mediterranean diet, a lot of vegetables and fresh foods, and then the workout you get from making aioli. A little bit. This is not going to be on camera. So for those of you who are, this again will not be, I'll repeat it later, but you want to essentially make a garlic paste. And my colleagues tell me that when they were kids growing up on Fridays, if you walked down the street in any Provençal village, you could hear the pestle and mortar out of every window as the grandmas were making aioli.
Nice sound.
It is a very comforting sound. And if anybody wants to approach and take a look at the stage at which we are, you're welcome to do so. So we're almost there to the point where we start adding the oil. Many people swear by marble, pestle, and mortar. It's a matter of personal preference, I think. I prefer wood or some softer, slightly softer material, because to me the sound is more pleasant, most important. And many people, many chefs believe that if you don't treat garlic properly, if you mistreat it, it has a slightly bitter taste. Now that's a point of disagreement. So when you think you can no longer continue crushing the garlic, when you have sort of a rough garlic paste, you'll start adding a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and some of the boiled potato. And you don't want to add either all of the oil or all of the potato at once, because it would be hard to get the right texture. So again, you continue chatting with your friends, take a sip of wine if you have a wine glass close by, which you should, of course. Take a sip of wine, And then at this point, you're going mostly by feel. There's no real recipe for aioli. In the book, I give some measurements, but in reality, you mostly go by feel and taste. So you keep adding potato and olive oil, and you want to make the texture of the potato sort of smooth, but this is not mashed potato, so it's not really important that it be perfectly smooth. Some people actually prefer just a little bit of texture on the potato because then aioli is different from mayo. In Provence, if you happen to have aioli with egg, they tend to call that Parisian aioli because they don't consider it local. And so, and that's not meant as a compliment, let's just say. So we add more olive oil and we continue mixing. And if anybody wants to come and give it a hand, give me a hand and test their strength on aioli, this would be a good time. Any takers?
I can do it.
Excellent. Do you want to come on this side so you're caught on camera?
The lens can take me.
Sure it can.
This way?
Yeah. So if you want to come into the shot, stand a little closer. So this is essentially the texture we want. We have a lot of friends tonight, so let's add a little more potato and then a little oil. Perfect. Et voilà. It tastes so much better once you've participated in making it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I guarantee you. Now everybody will want to give it a try, which is what I'm after, really. Are you left-handed too? Should
No.
I get out of the way?
No.
Here, I'll hold it. Ah, there we go. See, it's a team effort. The best of foods are always team efforts. Just a little more potato. Perfect. Let's taste and see if we need to add more salt. And if not, we'll invite our friends to taste too. The peasant way. Ooh, that's all I've got. Is it good? Add these two potatoes.
It's nice. I think there's enough salt.
Yeah. And we'll add a couple more potatoes. The good news about this kind of aioli is that because it's not made with egg, it actually lasts longer because you don't have to worry about the longevity of the raw egg.
If there's any left.
Well, that's the only problem. There's rarely any left. And this is also a good base for sandwiches instead of mayo or mustard, or both, really. This on some bread with roasted vegetables.
Some more oil?
Yes, please. Now the vessel is getting to be a little tight, so we'll have to be a little more careful. But we have a lot of hungry friends here, so. Aioli is perfect, the perfect dish for company. Because a lot of the ingredients that go into it, the things you use to serve it with, can be prepared ahead of time. And also because it's this large dish, yes. It's very communal and festive. And because we're now running the risk of having all of our other friends jump at us if we don't get them to the aioli fast enough, we'll start the taste testing. We can probably do that. Just Well, we'll just say that whoever finds there is a piece of potato in there that won't disintegrate, whoever finds that gets an extra glass of rosé. We'll turn it into a good luck charm.
I think you have one more person who would like to give that a try.
Yeah? Michael, please.
Hold on. Maybe for that extra piece.
Don't crush it because then nobody will be able to find it.
Is that pretty much
Yeah.
chopped?
Yep.
Okay.
And see how the texture is not smooth, which makes it more interesting. All right, shall we give it a try?